poppin', all you beautiful people? So today is November 10th and I'm doing my first mukbang on this channel. I'm doing they would say car mukbang, but I'm in my truck mukbang. I'm in downtown LA and I'm doing Wild Living Foods. I got their Pink Dragon smoothie. It's one of their activated smoothies. I'll put the ingredients on the screen. And then I got their Rad Thai. I've tried their fettuccine pasta before, and I was gonna get it this time, but then it said that they steam their broccoli, and there's broccoli in here, and I hope they don't steam it because I'd rather them just dehydrate it, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try this now. And these are kelp noodles. They're such a good pasta alternative. They really fulfill my pasta craving. Some people say that it's processed. I honestly don't know how these are made, but these are definitely like a treat. I wouldn't have these like as a staple in my diet, but whatever. Wow, this is so good. Oh my god. Definitely has those pad thai flavors. So earlier I went to go to a wholesale produce market to buy my grapes. I got 2 cases. I think I'm gonna go back because it's right down the street, and get a case of oranges. So I don't have to come back as soon. I love how saucy it is. The one thing about the fettuccine when I tried, it wasn't saucy, but I mean it was still good, but I love saucy things. So it's the end of the year, about to be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm gonna stay 100% raw. I kind of disrespect myself and my health like that to go and eat foods that aren't for optimal healing. I really wanted to eat it with chopsticks, but I don't have any chopsticks. I should ask them for chopsticks, but it's alright. And then I got this spicy mushroom soup that they have. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Wow, that is so good. They have cilantro in here. And I'll put the ingredients for everything on the screen. Wow, this is really good. Yeah, so basically with this channel, I want to do like a mukbang once a week of home. I don't want to say cook because it's not cooked. Home sun-fired meals, I guess I would say, once a week, and like do like pizza and pasta and things like this, like I guess what you would call gourmet raw. Only once a week because most of the week I eat fruit and I juice a lot for my healing, but at the same time, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. So I think having once a week meals like this will keep me from wanting to eat foods that aren't healing. And also, it's better to make your meals at home because it's cheaper. Because this was expensive, but I know they have overhead coverage of a business down here in downtown LA. You know, there's a wow, this is so good. Wow. I'm gonna be able to make foods like this soon. Being in the kitchen and being creative. I love making food. There's another raw organic place I've been to in my area of, I guess, LA County. That one might be in Inland because it was in Corona. Oh, not Corona. Chino. And it's called Organic. And they have juice and smoothies, and they have raw pizza that I tried. Their raw pizza is fire. But yeah, creating meals like this would be really fun for me. And so good. This is amazing. Oh my god. It comes with like I think an almond cracker. It's little, but I know almonds are expensive, so no, actually it doesn't even need a cracker. It's so amazing. So today I have a funeral to go to. I'm not gonna go to the actual church, but I'm going to go to the burial part. It was one of my brother's homies, and one of my homegirls, it was her cousin. And it's crazy because he a few years ago, when I came back from New Mexico, because I lived in New Mexico for a little bit, he was up at my grandparents' house chilling and swimming, and I met him there. And excuse me, this whole time I didn't know he was my homegirl's cousin until last July. I mean, this past June, we hung out because my homegirl lives in Oregon, so she came down and she was like, oh, come kick it. And I was like, okay, for sure, I'm coming over. And then coming to find out that my brother's homie is her cousin. So me, her, my brother's homie, and my brother and my other friend, we went out. We went out to a bar. We're just chilling and talking. He was a really cool dude, and like, he was like straight gangster though, like I'm part of a gang and shit like that, but whatever. That don't even matter, because when we were at the bar, like, he started talking to me, and then like he talked about like taking care of business, taking care of his family, his grandma. He's like, my grandma took care of me growing up, I take care of her. His grandma really loves him. She was always asking for him, and he was showing me Snapchats of her, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. And I can't believe he passed away. We were just with him last June. And it just puts your life in a perspective of, you should really appreciate every moment. You should really enjoy doing what you love. And all this shit. Most definitely. There was a few parties back in the day that my homegirl's other cousin would throw at their grandpa's house in Pico Rivera, and he had a pool too. There'd be like pool parties and shit, and we would go. And I was talking to him, my brother's friend that passed, so I was talking to him like, you went to those parties? Like, the ones, his name was Omar, the ones Omar threw? And he was like, yeah, I was always there. And me and my best friend were like, what the hell? We never met you or nothing. It's so random that he turned out to be my brother's friend. And he would go to those parties too, but I don't know, it's a small ass world. It's crazy. And then in June, my friend that came down from Oregon, she was like, hey, you know my cousin Danny? I was like, who's Danny? Because he doesn't go by that. He goes by Dolo. I was like, who's Danny? And then she was like, Dolo, my cousin. I was like, oh yeah. And so it was funny. So after that, we were like, who's Danny? But yeah, it makes me realize that I need to stop like being bitchy or snappy towards people. I know it happens based off like human emotion, but you never know when they're gonna take their last breath, and you don't want it, the last moment with them to be a sour one, you know? Definitely don't want that, and to feel that guilt the rest of your life. So that's why I always have to like breathe, and if that does happen, then like apologize right away or whatever. But yeah, some crazy shit has been happening. My other cousin was going to a hockey game with her girlfriend, and my brother's calling me. I'll tell a story real quick. Alright, what was I saying? My brother called me. He was gonna go to the church right now for the funeral, but he said he might just go to the burial, which I'm gonna go with later. But my other cousin, she was with her girlfriend, and they're going to a hockey game in Anaheim. And my cousin forgot her wallet, so she went back to go get it, and her girlfriend waited for her. And when she came back, there were just ambulances and police, and her girlfriend was nowhere to be found. And I guess somehow she got hit by a car, and they took her to the ambulance to the hospital. Which one was it? It was a good one, right there in Anaheim, one of the good hospitals. And my cousin came back, and like her girlfriend's gone. Like what the fuck? And right now she's in a coma, and her spine's a little messed up, and she has bruises and stuff everywhere. But the person who did hit her stopped, but they can't do anything about it until she wakes up from her coma. And we all really don't know what happened. And it's messed up because she was on the phone with her mom when it happened, and her mom said all she heard was like a bunch of commotion. And then she called my cousin crying, like something happened to her, where like they took her. I don't know, like things could change in like a fucking snap of a finger, and it's messed up. So yeah, how all this pain and death and ascension to the next life, the afterlife, has put into perspective for me. Like I always think about it, but when it happens, you just get more like grounded into that, I feel like. And makes me want to appreciate the moments I have here in my human form with my family and my dad. I have to let a lot of anger go with my dad. I love him a lot. He does a lot for me. I do a lot for him. It's just we all battle with our own demons. And my dad just could give me anxiety because I'm always worrying about him. That's why. But I'm finished with this soup. It was so amazing. So amazing. The cracker is like I should let it soak in there. It's alright. But yeah, also just enjoying each moment of life. Sometimes on this healing journey of mine, I'm healing my body because I have like a little tumor kind of, and I've done a lot of research of where people do a lot of fasting, a lot of fruit, and like a high raw vegan diet, and they get their lymph system moving and it clears out those tumors. So that's what I'm doing. I'm a foodie at the same time. Like once a week, eat a meal like this, I'll be straight. And the rest of the week, fruit and tea, herbal tea, and juicing. That's gonna do it for me. Cause you can tell, like, I'm hella skinny. I'm so malabsorbed. And it came out of nowhere. I'll share my story with you guys. Like, it literally came out of nowhere. And I was a normal weight, normal body, and then I just started having pain. Severe pain. And then it freaking, what's it called? Revealed itself, basically. Before that, I kind of knew something wasn't right, like just by my intuition, but I was just like, I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to it until it got at its worst. But I'm kind of glad I did, because if it happened years ago or when I was younger, when I didn't have all this knowledge about like food as literally medicine and herbs and all that, I probably would have went the conventional way, probably would have needed chemo. And now knowing the truth about all those medical interventions, I'm just like, when you could completely do it naturally, I'll probably survive longer eating raw food going this way than the other route of chemo. Like, the chemo literally kills you. So I'm straight. I'm happy like this. I'm not tired. I work full time. I go to school full time. I prep my dog's food. He's on raw food, raw meat. Because he has a tumor too. And he's good too. He plays. He walks still. Like, he feels good. The only thing is that he's also malabsorbed, and you can see his bulge in his stomach. But other than that, he's fucking good. Like, his mom, when they found out she had cancer all throughout her, and she like stopped eating, they kept feeding her the same diet, and she starved herself to death because she was fasting. but her body couldn't do it. But like my dog, when we found out he had a tumor, oh my god, there's meters right here. I didn't even know that. Oops. But yeah, he was throwing up his regular dog food, kibble, dry kibble, you know, the regular dog food. He was throwing it up and then he would eat it back up, but it was happening too much, and I told my dad, you need to just diet. My dad was kind of hesitant too until I did it. I was like, I felt bad because I knew with his diet he would feel better based off what I went through and how my pain went away. I knew, and I couldn't ignore it, so we changed him to a raw diet food, and he has his ground meat and ground bones, and then he has his raw fruits and veggies and a bone broth with herbs. He's doing good. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up this. Basically done. It's only the broccoli, a little bit of noodles on my smoothie still. It's really yummy. It's so yummy. They have their dessert smoothies they make out of, like, they have a coconut ice cream and then they make with almond milk. So fucking good. I would definitely recommend trying this place at least once. It is kind of expensive, but health is worth it, dude. Without health, you feel like shit, and that's the worst. You don't want to feel like that. You don't want to. It sucks. Alright, I will see you guys on my next mukbang. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll share more stories and yummy food. I'm gonna get dehydrator soon, so yeah, I'm gonna be whipping it up. That raw pizza, that raw pasta, raw sushi. I love sushi. I used to fucking love sushi. Spicy tuna, but I'm gonna do raw style now. Raw vegan, sun-fired, no death. Alright, I will talk to you guys later, and have a magical day. Hi guys, it's me again in my truck. Later on the same day I'm editing the video, and I realized on their menu, I forgot this place puts honey in a lot of their things, and I try to stay clear of honey. I know some raw vegans eat honey because it is natural, but the only scenario that I would ever eat honey was if I had my own farm where they are stationed and they stay there, and they have all the fruit trees to pollinate, all the native plants to pollinate, and a really natural ecosystem for them that they thrive in. And I would take like a little bit of their honey. Most mass-produced honey, they take all their honey and they replace it with sugar water, which is really fucked up. Also, what they do is they put bees in these big boxes that are like transferable hives. They load them onto big rigs and they bring them to farm for them to pollinate the trees. But this causes a lot of stress on their hive, and a lot of them die during this process, and I really don't agree with it. So I really try to stay clear of honey. I just want to be one less person stealing their stuff, you know, that's theirs. But this place uses local honey. I don't know who produces it or whatever. I should have asked if I could opt out of it, if it was a possibility, or choose just a different dish. But I need to keep that in mind when I go there next time, that I don't choose something with honey in it, because I freaking forgot this place put honey in some of their stuff and a lot of their things. But it happens. So yeah. Just FYI, if you go there and you try to stay away from honey, or maybe you might have an allergy,